Good morning, peoples watching through the hose tubes. Front end freshen up continuation. We're going to take the booty off to go and get a colour match from the panel. Right, let's take this booty off the Viva. Got 2 seconds, I'll get me bin in. Where you been? Alrighty. Oh, I forgot that crap was on my boot. These are just plastic shells that I'm putting in the shed. I put them in there the other day to get them out of the way. I forgot it. Anyway, so I've already pencil marked round here, and I'm going to pencil mark round here and take these nuts off to take the boot to go and get a colour match. Oh, fresh paint still over the top of them. You know what I mean? Look how different of angle that one is to that one. Crazy. I suppose that's why you pencil mark them up. Right, hang on. Pencil in my pocket. I marked this one the other day. Let's mark this. And I'm guessing they're 1/2 inch, if they're the same as the bumper bolts. Just a guess, mind. I'm having to use a 1/2 inch spanner on this side. I can fit a socket in over on the other side, but this side, this has been bent that far over that you kind of get a socket in. I suppose they did that in the factory to get them to line up, did they? There we go, the boot is off. Got over here, let's pop it into the car and go and get a colour match. Got the cover over to cover up while the boot's off. It wasn't windy before, but chances on it'll get windy now that the cover's on. Sod's law. Let's make like a tree and get out of here. At Alpha Paint, the guy's going to come out with the colour scanner thing and see if we can get a good match. Here is the colour scanner thingy bob. We're going to see if we can get a colour match close to what it is. So, this is what I got from Alpha Paints. 2 colour match rattle cans, as close as we can to the colour. Look pretty good to me. Like a little tin of brush on paint as well. He said it might be a bit different shade because of the bind I had to put in it. But I don't care, that's for patching up stuff. Like I said, 50 shades of yellow this thing anyway. And I'm going to try their 1K epoxy primer. This stuff will be hard to beat though. I didn't know I had any of this left. This Pro XL 1K epoxy. This is lovely how this stuff goes on. But we'll give their stuff a go and see how it goes on. And I also need a tiny bit in there, that'll save that. I also need to start throwing out empty rattle cans. Is that empty? That one's empty. Why am I keeping it? Right, let's get the boot back on this old girl and we'll start prepping the front for paint. I chucked the cover on to cover it well, there was no boot on it, like I say, and I got another just a cover from Halfords again. I think it's a bit thinner than what they used to be. If people realise that or not, I think it seems very, very thin compared to how they used to be. Anyway, you can pay fortunes for some decent covers, can't you? There's the boot back on. It could go over a tiny hair over the other side, but for now, it's close enough. Bit awkward doing it by myself, so that'll do for now. I've left the pencil marks on. Here I am sanding down the front volants with my favourite grit of sandpaper, 80 grit, which coincidentally also is an excellent exfoliator for when you're showering after a long hard day of working on old cars. 80 grit is my favourite sandpaper. Using a wire brush on the end of a drill to get into these little crevices. I've emptied out my Hoover bag and reused it about 3 times now. but just for use, because you're special, I'm going to replace it. $2,000 hours, second coated rust converter. Crack on with the car tomorrow morning. Shh. Shh. Right, it is the next day and it has not stopped raining all night. Well, actually, it's just stopped now, but I'm off to work soon. Let's get this bumper out of here. Right, here is the bumper off me green Viva, and I was gonna maybe steal one of the arms off it, but no. This one's took a big old knock here, and over here has been knocked down as well, whereas mine, it's only got a little ding there and a one that's been tapped out here. But what I want out of this one is the coach bolt top thingy bobs, because mine are hammered. In fact, I don't know if this one will come out, but let's see if we can get them out and get these arms off and get them prepped for paint. And then this will get painted before the end of this video. Camera decided to turn itself off while I was taking that out, but there's the first bolt out of the green Viva's bumper. Needs a clean. Put that there. Came out nice and easy. There's the other coach bolt thing that I want off. And we'll go all clean up before they go back on. Hello ski peoples, into another day. Finally got them dreaded bumper bolts out, and the bumper is up there resting. There's the coach bolts ready to be cleaned up and put back on the bumper when it is ready to go on. We're in the middle of storm, well, it's the end of Storm Amy. That's why there's lots of leaves in the garage, and there's actually a lot of water that came in the garage. It didn't get past my barricade though. So I know what you're thinking, leaves and rain, perfect spraying conditions. Yeah, me too. So I'm back after work again in a couple of hours. This video has been done over a few little segments over the week. So let's get some bumper on this. Sleep deprivation. Let's get some paint on this. I haven't bothered taking that indicator out that says the bolts are seizing on. Another time I can get in there and paint that lip. It don't matter. I've got a reputation to uphold, you know. I can't be doing everything perfect. Right, let's make like a bee and get busy. Just use the air compressor there to blow away all the crap and dust that's around the car before painting. Don't worry, any dust in the air, the extraction facility in the garage will take care of that. Meaning the door's open. And now I'm going to use some panel wipe to clean down the panel. Shall I use the rest of the Pro XL stuff, 1K epoxy, or shall I use Alpha Paint, well not Alpha Paint, you know, Mipper's 1K epoxy. I've never used it before. Will I give it a shot? We'll give it a shot. By the way, the vent for the bottom there, I sanded it and I peeled off all the, did someone say it's powder coat or something like that, and I peeled off as much as that would peel off and back past it a bit more as well, and that's ready to, I've rust converted that 4 times. You know, you meant to do like twice. I've treated rust converted it twice. Same with the front, I rust converted this twice. You know, why not? And before I crack on with a primer on that, a big thank you very much to subscriber Mr. Dave Roundtree, who gifted me this Evolution, what's it called? I call it finger sander, file sander. Absolutely amazing. Thank you very much, Dave, too kind. And he also made me these coasters. Look at that. Look at the detail in that. I think he said, was it laser cut? That one and the Fiesta. I don't want to put a cup on them. They're well cool. Thank you very much, Dave, too kind. This is one of them things, you know, one of the tools that you always want but you never get around to getting. I can't wait to try that. Right, let's get some primer on this. I know what you're thinking, and yeah, there may be a little bit of overspray, but there is no overspray on this channel, only blending. I know there's been people saying you cannot paint in the rain, you cannot paint in the wind. Yeah, I can. Watch us. All together now, this channel's motto: we are not striving for perfection. Having to go of the Mipper 1K epoxy primer, but like I say, the Pro XL epoxy primer is going to be a hard one to beat. I'm not sure how I feel about that Mipper stuff in that can anyway. It kind of lays on nice, but it's kind of slow like the spray. And I don't know, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? But I like it. I like that. I'm not sure. I don't know. So to sum up, what the f am I talking about? Going in with a good old trusted Pro XL stuff for the second coat. You do get more for your money with this Mipper 1K epoxy primer stuff, and I do kind of like how it goes, like the finish on it, but yeah, this is unmatched, this stuff, like, you know, this, the way it goes on the can, like, it just is. It's just cracking stuff, and no runs whatsoever. You could use your foot to press the nozzle on this, and there'd be no runs. It's cracking stuff, this. Maybe I'll try the nozzle on that one as well, maybe. I don't know, but unmatched so far, this, but we will try a different nozzle on that, and we'll see how it goes. Bit pricey, this stuff, like. Well, for me, anyway. So far, step 1, sand. Step 2, rust convert. Step 3, primer. Step 4, Maltesers. Cup of tea. I don't want to use my coaster. Too good. Do I say primer like Rick out of the young ones? Primer. Pollution all around. Sometimes up, sometimes down, but always around. Right, let's get some yellow on it. Sitting in the little Fiesta editing because the garage is kind of fumey at the minute and it's windy as hell outside. I've said before, I can't wait to drive this little thing. I've got to get it finished. And it was all yellow. This mask, right, it's okay like doing primer and things like that and sanding and stuff, but when you're doing like a top coat, you still smell some of the fumes. So any suggestions on a decent mask that doesn't really let in a lot of paint fumes? Look at that. You know we belong together, you and I forever and ever. Everybody. If anyone's painted this at their lift, I know this bit's black from the factory, isn't it? Do I need to paint that bit black? Does it look better like through the grill? If this bit's black, or does it not matter? So I just carry on doing it all yellow. That is very, very close to the colour. I mean, even if you polish the other stuff out, maybe it is the colour. But I've been given the formula for this. So anytime I can go in for a rattle can, I just take that in. And we'll just carry on using that. Cracking. Then when this channel's getting the mega views and we do the full respray on this, we'll get a big batch made up. Paint it on the driveway in the wind. No, I'd like to advance and maybe paint it in a greenhouse or something like that. There we go. I've just rested the grill on to like get the gist and Look at it, all pretty. Oh yes, oh yes. Could I do a before and afterwards? Oh yeah. Let's see if I'm up to the technicality of doing a before and afterwards. Hang on. Before, behold, and after. And oh, she looks good without the rust on down there. Now I do like a patina, I do like a Survivor car, but she just looks mean with all that yellow just still running. Oh, but not bad for a little garage job, eh? Eh? Few people said she looked mean without the front grille on and that, and she does. Could you? And I've got ideas, not for this girl, this old girl though, for another one. I'd love to do a 2-door Viva, and really annoy some people. There's my headlights on the floor there, and I want to clean up the rims on them and give them a treatment, and also my grille for the front valance. What he's writing about painting it in K2 brake caliper paint. It's meant to form like a hard, like durable resin over it. What do you reckon? And also, I still need to clean up my bumper brackets. I could slap all the lights back in it, and the bumper on, and fake it. YouTube done. But I thought, nah, this channel is as real as it gets. So I'm not going to fake it to pretend it's done and slap the stuff back on it. In my bid to be the most honest car YouTuber there is. I've got to go to work now. Sorry if this is anticlimactic, but I haven't got time to clean up the stuff and put it in the front ends. But thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great week. I'll see you in the next one. She is looking damn good.